Homecrest is, for as long as I've been here, over 30 years, has been a major part of our community. It's really a synonym when it comes to Wadena. You speak of Wadena, you speak of Homecrest.
When John came home and said that he had been offered a job in Wadena, Minnesota, I asked him to get out the atlas. We were living in Atlanta at the time. But it was the most wonderful place to live and to bring up our children.
I'm most proud of creating a place for, at high season, over 500 people in Wadena, Minnesota.
Wadena to me is home, and I have been blessed with being able to travel all over the world. So, but this is where my heart is.
Don has served this community like probably no one else, and when you're trying to put together a committee to get something done, Don's name is on every list.
You know, I would describe Don as just a wonderful, caring, thoughtful, kind, giving individual. And he just cares so much about Wadena and this company.
But one of the things that I would describe him as is curious. I recall once Don bought a very expensive piece of furniture. It was a leather piece of furniture, and he had it down at his office, and our kids were all there. And Don said, "I want to know what's inside this furniture." So he took a knife out and just sliced open this expensive piece of furniture. My kids still talk about that today.
One of my favorite things to do is sit down with a sketchbook. And yeah, I'm not a designer, but what I do is invent things and different ways of doing it, ways of making something.
Always thinking about Homecrest and how he could come up with new ideas for the furniture.
And so I would say the best times for me probably were working with people on solving problems in the plant, because really I'm an operations guy. John was the marketing guy.
Well, the way that I describe John is he's, a Southern gentleman.
I would describe him as a kind and caring, gentle man.
John is a tremendous family man. I remember that about him, talking about our children, and we would compare notes between our kids and his kids, and we still do that today.
I think the thing that is most proud of is it would be his faith and the way he relates to people. And he's gifted as a leader. He is a leader. And once you get to know John, you come to realize that he is an artist as well as a businessman. He does have his master's in fine arts, and he's kind of a frustrated artist, and he's done some really nice things.
Our company was known for the most comfortable outdoor furniture in the industry, and we worked very hard to make it comfortable, and that was a lot of fun.
Homecrest really has its foundation in comfort, and I have to give credit to that aspect of it to my father and my uncle, because they started the business, and they started it with what was called the B25 swivel rocker. It was a wire-frame chair. It had a spring on it. They were told that you couldn't weld a spring to a piece of swivel steel, and they worked with a friend of my dad's at U.S. Steel, and he told them how to do it. And what that led to was a niche industry for Homecrest originally.
Don and John were a perfect complement to each other because Don's knowledge of his engineering background and working with the factory and working with Mert over the years, and then John bringing in the sales and marketing and bringing new ideas into the company that we could execute together.
John, Larry, and I bought this business in 1980 from S&H.
And we were successful at Homecrest, Don Bottemiller and Larry Calhoun and I, the three owners, because we each took one area of responsibility, worked hard at it, but we also helped each other, and we were a good team. We had fun doing what we did every day. We had an annual dinner. And when we would get together with those folks and tell jokes and eat together and have that kind of camaraderie, very, very special times.
In the early 2000s, Homecrest went through some difficult times. the economy was bottoming out. China was such a force. They wanted the intellectual property and they wanted a patent. And that's all they cared about. And they were willing to pay millions for that. In my early days as mayor, I recall getting a call from Don that, Wayne, we need to work on something together. And that was to help keep Homecrest in Wadena. So we worked, Don and I and our economic developer in Wadena worked with the state of Minnesota on some grant possibilities. There were some federal grants that were going to be able to help a new ownership group to buy Homecrest. We were literally hours away from the time when China was going to buy it. I mean, that was it. They were going to close up this building. They didn't care about the building. They didn't care about the employees. But we did. And we made it happen. I made a call down to the Commissioner of Deed at that time and said, Mr. Commissioner, we're going to lose it. We're going to lose this company. And just hours later, a phone call came back and said, we've got the money to make this happen. And we're going to keep Homecrest in Minnesota, in Wadena, and going for the future. And every step of the way, even though Don was not going to be a day-to-day force within Homecrest, he cared about it. He wanted to make sure that that company is going to stay in Wadena, his hometown, forever.
To win this award really is really a great honor. And I really never considered myself as someone that would probably win it. I didn't aspire to it. So I would say it would be with a feeling of humbleness and humility that I approached this.
I was very proud to have been chosen and very humbled. It became very clear to me that I didn't win this award. I stand on the shoulders of so many wonderful people at Homecrest, a family of people, so many people in the industry, these people that helped make John Miles who he is and apparently got me to this kind of recognition.
There was just so many facets of Homecrest and stories of Homecrest in our community that a lot of people really think back on. And to this day, you know, our community really appreciates the contributions that Homecrest makes, the jobs that they provide in our town. So we're looking forward to the future.